Man, I don't mind these tough losses, like tough and close losses. I'd rather have that, like I said, than what we had last year. Um, it's a learning process. Every single season is a learning process. Every single game is a learning process. Every single possession is a learning process. After every timeout, it's a learning process. Every single off season, it's a learning process. You know, and for Tyrese Maxey, he's gonna be experiencing a lot of ups and downs. And somebody was saying, my buddy Lou, shout out to Lou the Writer Sports. I had to disagree with him that it came down to Doc that last game, and no, it didn't. It didn't come down to Doc. Doc did what he was supposed to do. Doc did what he was supposed to do. But nigga, I don't know. I thought you was going, motherfucker. Man, these people about to piss me off. Doc did what he was supposed to do. And it was just a matter of us executing down the stretch. And that's what's been pretty much our Achilles heel. We'll play good for the first 3 quarters, and in the stretch into the fourth quarter, we had the game. And then it's the veteran savvy and the experience of some of the members of the Brooklyn Nets, and that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take a lot of grooming and honing, not in the beginning parts of the game, but really in the end part of the game, or like in pressure situations, or really, if you really want to be technical, at the end of the playoffs, situations like that. But this right here, I don't mind losses like this. If we stay within reach in the East, because it's a competitive East. Um, I had talked to, I think it was, Young. Shout out to Young and Sterling Young, and also shout out to TJ Boxing. Go subscribe to his channel. But he had responded. He said both conferences are competitive, and he has a good case. But I feel like the East is more competitive in this juncture. For one, the Bucks won it last year. That's just plain and simple. And for two, all of the teams that you used to look over and say, okay, well, nah, that team's trash, this team's trash. A lot of them made the playoffs or were really close to. Charlotte was close to making the playoffs last year until LaMelo had got hurt. The New York Knicks, the Knicks is back. Then on top of that, you got, of course, Brooklyn, Miami. They still made the playoffs or whatever. And then like Chicago, I've said it time and time again. People probably sick of me talking about Chicago, but Chicago is really they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And you can't forget about Indiana. We'll see how they look when they play, because they got to play tonight. Uh, they lost a close one, that their first game, and they got pretty much all their horses back. When you talk about Sabonis and uh, all of those guys, Brogdon, they They got all their horses back, and plus they're under the new coaching prowess and philosophy of Rick Carlisle. But I don't mind these tough losses. I encourage these tough losses. You know, we don't. I don't want to miss the playoffs or anything like that. You know, of course not. But to tighten up on situations and to get better, that's what we're gonna need. That's what we're gonna need to do, especially when you're talking about a guy that's loaded with potential in Tyrese Maxey. He feeds very well off of Joel Embiid, and the guys feed well off of Tyrese Maxey, especially when you talk about uh, Green and Korkmaz, and when you talk about, uh, of course, Harris. You know, these guys feed off of his energy. And another thing is too, I'm proud of the way Andre Drummond is giving it all. Now I don't want him to go out there because yesterday, man, he kind of, I don't know, man. I when he jumped up in the air, man, I kind of braced myself because I thought that he might have messed up his ankle or something. But you know, I'm impressed with the way that Andre Drummond is playing. But there you go again. See, Andre Drummond's he has the opposite effect of what guys like Luka and Westbrook have. Like Westbrook will start off slow and then come on fire uh, towards like the mid season or whatnot. At least over the course of time, and then Luka will do that too. But with Drummond, he'll start off good and then he'll start slacking during the end. Last year that wasn't the case. He could have did a lot better. But I think he's trying to get that title back to him being the best rebounder like he once was. He's lost that title to Clint Capella because Clint Capella last year was the best rebounder. He was average. He was at what 14 a game. That was his title, both offensive rebounder and defensive rebounder. But you need tough losses like this because it it helps you grow as a team, and then it'll help to smooth out any rough rough edges that you might have. I like the way we're moving the ball. I really like us. I'm impressed with us in transition. I really love the way in transition. Yes, the half court, that's that's gonna be that's gonna be something that we're gonna address and everything. But as long as we keep running, we're fine. Joel is looking good in transition. He's getting up and down the floor. There was a time when Joel Embiid used to have to be like, "Oh Lord, here we go. Joel Embiid gonna start getting tired again." Nah, not this time. And plus, he's feeling good. I know that he's addressed that issue with the meniscus. Um, Tobias Harris is always going to do his thing. I'm looking for Tobias Harris. I want Tobias Harris to be more reliant and relied upon in terms of end of the end of games. You know, because he can definitely. A lot of people don't understand that last year when Embiid was out, Tobias Harris was actually coming up big at the end of games when Joel Embiid was gone. He did that against. I remember one time when he came up big against the Lakers. And he did that with against several teams. He came up big against Utah, I think it was. There was some times I want to say. Now he didn't come up big. He didn't show anything like when we lost, to Phoenix and a couple of those teams out west or whatnot. He didn't show up then, but he definitely showed up. You know, when it came to the Lakers and stuff. And that was a lot of the criticism that a lot of people were making about Tobias Harris, even in the playoffs too. In the playoffs he could have showed up when we needed him, but that's what I'm looking for Tobias Harris to do, especially him being a veteran. Guys like him and guys like Danny Green are so important. And now that we got Danny Green back, I like the way Danny Green is moving. He's moving a lot better, moving so much better. So some of these losses and stuff like that, man, I'm not getting frustrated about it. I'm not getting frustrated about it because it's the tortoise and the hare mentality. It's a tortoise and the hare mentality. So y'all tell me what you think. Leave your comments, like this video, share it, subscribe. Also hit the notifications too. Until then, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT. I'll get at y'all later.